very much in favor of the counting of points.
Does it work for you? No.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of The Run Through. This is the figure skating podcast where we're going to run through all the things that make us kiss and make us cry. Every episode, we're going to hope to give you a podcast performance that's both technically sound and artistically satisfying. And this podcast is obviously hosted by your two favorite ghosts of figure skating competition past. I'm Olympic medalist, U.S. national champion, and fully realized monster, Adam Rippon.
And I am a world medalist, Olympic medalist, 3-time U.S. national champion, and lover of all jumps landed on 2 feet, Ashley Wagner. Also, we would be nothing without our producer, Sarah Hughes. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did you get 2002 Olympic champion Sarah Hughes to produce this podcast?
How did we get it? How?
Well, we didn't.
Right.
We did not.
That's true.
This Sarah Hughes, unfortunately, never won the Olympics, but she has won an Emmy for her work on NBC's Olympic coverage. You might hear not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes pop in and out of the show, and you'll definitely hear from her later when we play a segment that we like to call Fierce or Flutz. Adam, tell me about this. What is Fierce or Flutz?
I'm so glad you asked because I would love to explain this. So
Please do.
Fierce or Flutz is where we have Emmy winner but not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes ask us a question and we have to deem it fierce or flutz. And I know what you might be thinking, but listen, flutzing isn't always bad. And if my
It's
memory...
nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't... If I remember, you had one and you actually famously weren't ashamed of it.
I actually famously refused to learn how to do a Lutz on an outside edge and said, not I. I'm just going to continue to do flips.
You know what's so crazy about that is that I remember there was a moment when you were trying to do a Lutz and you could do one, which is the craziest. This is the craziest thing is that you could do a Lutz and you still went, not I.
No. I wanted to do 3 flips in a program every single time because I didn't want that variety and I wanted something to just hold me back in my career. And so, proud flutzer, here I am. So it's basically a long-winded way of saying that flutzing does not always have to be a bad thing.
Exactly.
Sometimes it can just be a little untraditional.
I love that. Like us, a little untraditional.
That's what people say about us. Okay, so why don't we talk about what this podcast is even going to be about? So, of course, we have a lot of events that we're going to be breaking down. We're going to give you some build-up, some information and storylines so that you can get ready to watch your favorite events. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, what can people expect after an event, Adam?
Well, I think after an event, you can expect that post-competition come down, right? We've experienced it before.
We've all been there.
But what we're going to do is we're actually going to break down every competition.
Every single one.
Every single one.
We're saying it now so that we have to do it later.
Right. We're looking at each other's eyes and we're going, we have to do this. We're promising. We're making a promise to the people.
We will break down the events, the moments you loved, the moments you hated but still kind of loved. And on top of that, one fun fact about me, and it's not fun. It's actually, this I should be ashamed of, and I'm still not. I did not grow up a figure skating fan. I did not grow up watching every single Michelle Kwan program, which
this is shameful, by the way.
It's sinful.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's your first sin. It's your original sin.
But you're in luck because post-retirement, I absolutely fell in love with all the drama that the sport brings, and I will be bringing that passion to this pod. But Adam will be offering up old skating competition history lessons for me to really help culture me in figure skating history and history.
I think it's important because, you know, when I was growing up, I recorded every single event that would ever be on TV on a VHS tape, and I could probably tell you from the moment they got on the ice, I could probably tell you if you brought up a random competition, it would not be out of my character to let you know what even happened on a 6-minute warm-up, because I know those things front to back.
And this is no joke. We would be sitting in the locker room sometimes, and for some reason, Adam would reference a random skating moment in history where he would be like, yeah, in like 1997 when so-and-so like popped her first triple sow in her program and then, lost it all. And I would just be like, yeah.
But I do love that you're like, for some reason, like we were in a bowling league together. Like we were at a rink and we were skating every day.
Okay, there was context to it. You're right.
There was context. And also, Ashley and I are hoping to do some, potential interviews with some of your favorite skaters, some special guests. We're going to get everybody's opinion. We're just going to have a lot of fun, right?
Which leads us into the final talking point. Adam prepared for this podcast and wrote down what we kind of wanted to talk about. And one of the notes just says, fun segments.
I want to talk about that. That's true. That's true. I don't feel bad about writing fun segments because I want to have fun on here. If I'm not having fun,
neither are you.
Neither is the listener. And I hate that for them.
So, of course, you can expect to see segments like Fierce or Flutz, but we have a couple of other fun things in store so that you really can get the most of all things figure skating. And it's going to be a blast. I'm really excited about this. So, of course, leading up to this season, we decided to start a podcast at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will obviously be covering Worlds. You can expect to hear our Worlds coverage next week after the event. And then we have World Team Trophy this season. It's our first time seeing this competition since
2019. Yeah.
2019
So 2019 is the last
2020?
World Team Trophy. Sarah Hughes.
Sarah,
This
when was it?
2021.
in 2021. I don't know.
We never claimed that we were experts.
No, we didn't say that.
That's why we have an expert on this podcast with us.
Right.
So it'll be our first time seeing it, and I guess not that long, but it's been long enough for me. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And then
And then summertime, Adam.
yeah, so this is what we're thinking. We're thinking that we're going to do, this is our first episode, we're going to do a Worlds recap. We'll do another episode for World Team Trophy. And then throughout the summer, we're thinking one episode per month leading into the skating season, where then we're just going to be working overtime. Right, Ash?
This is where the party starts. I mean, Grand Prix season. You are guaranteed 6 Grand Prix events. You have the Grand Prix final, and we're just going to be covering every single event that we think is watchable for you guys so that you can really get
I
all
hope
the
you
skating
mean
knowledge.
all of them as watchable. Actually, we don't know. We have no idea. We don't know.
No, we're going to be covering the Grand Prix series, a lot of international, national competitions.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite kind of competition, the international
nationals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Of course, huge events like Europeans, 4 continents, and everything leading up to the ultimate event of the season, which would be the World Championships.
I think that sounds fun.
I'm into it.
It sounds like a fun segment, which which
one of
I
our
said I wanted to
air
do.
quotes, fun segments.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, Adam, should we get into it and start with our very first preview?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to preview. I'm ready to podcast. I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, so of course we have the World Championships this week in Saitama, Japan. It's an event that both Adam and I have competed at. We've been at this location. The arena is incredible. I am so excited to have a World Championships in front of a Japanese audience. It's so great for the skaters, and I think we have a really exciting week of skating coming our way.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like you said, we've both competed. I've competed at this arena for Japan Open. Have you competed here for any other reason?
I was at Worlds when they were here in I think it was post-Olympics World, so it would have been that 2014 World Championships.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, that does sound right. Sarah is smirking at us.
I think we did something right.
So, Ash, you've competed 6 times at Worlds?
Oh, God.
12. Was that your first?
No.
No,
it wasn't.
2008.
The most disastrous. I was blacked out. I don't remember it. My first World Championships was the year. Oh my gosh, my skating names are completely out of the girl who was skating before me withdrew mid ice.
Miki Ando.
Miki Ando withdrew
That's right.
mid-ice, and backstage, people were like, Miki Ando withdrew, you have to get on the ice, and I am 16, I still have braces, I have no self-confidence, it's just hairspray and sheer willpower that's making me skate right now, and I got out onto the ice and basically forgot my program, also forgot how to land a lot of jumps.
Oh, no.
And so, I know, it's one of those, but you live and you learn. So I guess, yeah, that would be about 6? 7?
7. That would be 7 then, right? Because you went 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 8. So that would be 7.
Oh my God.
See, I told you, you're learning skating history, but what's so scary is that right now you're learning your own.
Okay, and how about you? How many have you been to?
Okay, my first one was 2010, then 12, and then I did a sabbatical from the World Championships for a bit.
You took a step back.
I took a step aside, and I went, let
No,
them,
you guys
let them,
go.
yeah, you guys go. I was trying to go, but then I said, why don't you go? Okay, so 10, 12, 15, and 16. So 4. I went to 4 World Championships. But I remember my first one. And my first World Championships, 2010, was in Torino. I was rooming with Evan Bates. And I remember in our hotel room, we had a towel rack that's like a towel heater. Mm-hmm. And I thought that I was going to do something really like charming for myself, something like a treat. And so like under my costume, I would always wear a dance belt, which like if you're not...
a dance belt owner.
Right. If you're not an owner of a said dance belt, basically what it is, it's like, it's kind of, it helps like smooth out the edges of a man's front
situation.
Half. Yes. And it's like, it's kind of like a thong in the back so that there's no lines in like in the pants in the back. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so I'm so sorry. Evan, but what I did was I put my dance belt on the heated towel rack before I was going to compete in the long program. So I put it there, and I was like, this will be such a treat because when I go to the rink and put it on, maybe it'll still be warm. Because I'm thinking about how am I going to do my best, and I'm thinking warm underwear. That's kind of what I was thinking. I went, I'm going to be warm. I did unfortunately leave the dance belt on the heated towel rack while I'm competing at the World Championship. So I'm competing, I'm smiling, and I need you to know that like I wasn't wearing the proper underwear. So I had to like roll it up, and I kind of MacGyvered it. I basically was a seamstress with what I did with my underwear to like make sure that it was like all in place.
Right.
But yeah, while I was competing, I had a fresh dance belt all heated up, basically almost on fire. And when I got back to the room, I was like, I left something in the bathroom. I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, I didn't know what that was for, but I didn't touch it. And I went, probably for the best.
He knew. He's like, I don't know what this is, but I do know I shouldn't be touching it.
Right. I think it's the dental floss in the back of the padded front, which was sort of the giveaway of don't touch this.
I would have loved to see him just see it for the first time and be like, huh, Adam.
I mean, Evan we roomed together at so many competitions, so he was well versed.
Was he your main roommate?
Yeah, Evan and I, like if we were at an event, we usually always roomed together, and then like in the later part of my career, I ended up always rooming with Zach Donahue, which I'll say it here now is one of the best roommates. Evan and Zach are the best roommates I've ever had at competitions.
Yeah, I would say that
in court. Like, I would say that.
I was usually with Maddie Chalk, and I feel like one event we actually switched so that Maddie and Evan could room together, and you and I were rooming together. That was like, those were the stunts that we pulled.
We were stunt pullers. Stunt pullers. But now that being said, Ashley, yes, take it away.
Let's get into our actual Worlds preview now that we know all about your dance belt situation. So I want to talk about the men to begin. Japan sending a very strong men's team. We obviously have to mention Shoma Uno. He's looking to defend his world title after a huge Grand Prix season. And then on top of that, we have Sota Yamamoto, who is also a contender here.
Yeah, and then there's Ilya Malinin, who's, he's been landing the quad axel all year. He's looking to be the first man to land one at a World Championships. This is his second World Championships. He's got to step up to the plate. He's coming back from that rough nationals skate, so it'll be interesting to kind of see like what he does. This is, there's a real opportunity on the line, so it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of fares in that field.
I completely agree. I think that he is a skater that has the technical goods that really could bring him to the top of that podium, but he struggles with pressure. I mean, he is a young athlete, and he's really just like been skyrocketed into this like top U.S. spot following Nathan Chen. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, but he definitely has a lot to prove at this World Championships, and really he's got to keep it together. Any other skaters that you feel like we need to mention before we move on to the pairs?
Well, I am just like, as usual, so looking forward to seeing Jason Brown skate.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he came back in this second half of this season. It was just like such a breath of fresh air. He's just, I don't know, he's just such a throwback. I mean, he skates obviously like current day, but it feels like you're watching a throwback for me, like of some of my favorite skating of like why I skated in the first place. So
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that he's going to be competing in this event.
Yeah, and I mean, he is the artist through and through, but also he was sixth at the Olympics last year, so he absolutely is a competitive athlete. Watching him at nationals this season, it was the first time we had seen him compete. His two programs are stunning, and I'm just really excited to have that kind of artistry at the world level this year. I think it's really great for us to see, and it's going to provide some nice contrast amongst, a field that's very jump heavy.
Yeah, and also like the door, have no idea what can happen at a World Championships. If the door is open and Jason skates clean, that's a program that's a threat for the podium too.
Absolutely. So then moving on to the pairs, I think really the focus here is going to be Alexa and Brandon coming in and trying to defend that world title. And of course, we do have to mention that their coaches, Jenny Mino and Todd Sand, will not be there. We are sending the best wishes and all of our positive healing energy their way and to their family. Todd suffered from a heart attack while at the World Junior Championships, and they are currently dealing with that as a family. So all the best wishes to Todd and his family.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like such a horrible situation. I can't imagine what the last few weeks of practice have been like, but I mean, Alexa and Brandon, they're really seasoned. I think that they're going to come here totally focused and ready to go. And I'm really excited to see that battle between them and the Japanese pair team.
Yes.
The Japanese are some of my favorite pair skating. It's just it's incredible. It's beautiful. I love it. So it's going to be a great event to watch.
I completely agree. And then I just have to mention Deanna Stellato. I am always excited any opportunity we get to see Deanna out on the ice. I think that her story is so cool to be able to totally transform her skating from, God, what was it when she was competing? Like early 2000s?
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching like this is your first
Okay, here we go. History lesson. Go.
So I think it was 2001. So 2000, Jenny Kirk is the world junior champion. Deanna Stellato is the world junior champion. Deanna Stellato was the junior Grand Prix final champion. So this is a bit of an upset. Okay. So we go into the next season, 2001. They start the season with this like pre sort of event. It's like kind of like a Japan Open, but it was called the Kerry Lotion Classic.
Oh,
okay.
Fancy.
So usually people did like an exhibition program. And what happened was that Deanna decided, I'm not doing an exhibition. I'm going to do my free skate for the season. So Deanna skates her free skate, and it's like, I think one of the most iconic early 2000s ladies free skates. It's amazing. She does 7 triples, and she gets off the ice. And obviously I remember the video verbatim where she gets off the ice. She gets a 6.0 for artistic merit. And it's like, I think that she's like the big story of the whole event. And then, they see her on the phone. She's calling Philip Mills, who you worked with a million times. And she's like, I got a 6. And she's like 16. So it's like her like flip phone and there's like 1,000 keychains coming off of it. So it's like click, click, click. I got a 6.0.
Right, it's like a little Motorola Razor or something.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that's, in my eyes, how I still see Deanna Stellato, even though she's a full grown woman and not a 16-year-old with a Motorola Razor with keychains on it.
That being said, she still does look 16. I want to know that woman's skincare routine because she is so fierce but also flawless.
Agreed. Ashley, should we go right into the dance? What do you think is going on in dance?
Well, of course, this is going to be between Piper and Paul and Evan and Maddie. And we have to mention Piper and Paul, it's a little bit up in the air because Piper had to get her appendix removed. So that really created some extra space and wiggle room for Maddie and Evan to gain that extra momentum. So this is going to be a really exciting event to watch because there's a lot of uncertainty here. Nothing is a guarantee, but Maddie and Evan they're currently coming into this event with the top scores of the season so far.
Yeah, and they've really just this whole season have taken that sort of criticism, that constructive criticism that they've gotten, and they've applied it really methodically to all of their programs, and they've just progressively got better and better. And I think that like their head is totally in the game.
Yeah.
And they got that little extra momentum from Four Continents from, they did not have that rivalry between Piper and Paul there. They got to be the team that was really the star in that event. So that could be something that helps them. But Piper and Paul have been great all year. And Ashley, do you know that I competed my whole life without an appendix?
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I don't
that the
have
key?
one.
Do you need to have your appendix removed to be competitive?
It's actually it's like having your appendix removed in sports is like the buccal fat removal of like the universe.
Yes, of course. Also, throughout this podcast, you will be getting a little tutorial on various medical procedures because Adam is an expert.
Yes.
No, I did not know that you competed without an appendix. That makes me very excited for Piper. It feels like that's really
I was 5 years old, and I remember I told my mom, I was like, I don't feel well. And my mom was like, you're fine. And then I was like keeling over, and then I went to the hospital, and they were like, your appendix ruptured.
And Callie was like, oh my God, this kid.
She's like, suck it up. And I'm like, I'm trying. They're like, he's dying.
Well, of course, the dance. One of my favorite events to watch. I think it's going to be great. There is really stiff competition, and I can't wait to see how that shakes out. Why don't we move on to the women to wrap this part up? So the door is wide open for anyone to just kind of skate on through. I am having a really hard time picking any kind of podium because I truly feel like it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think that really this podium is so wide open right now. I think Mai Miyahara has just been really solid all year, and there have been these little opportunities here and there for her to kind of just step up to the plate, and she's done it every single time. She's just been really solid. So in my mind, I think Mai Miyahara is the favorite.
Yeah.
But you can never count out Kiori because she's so solid. She's a world champion for a reason.
Yep.
She's an Olympic medalist. And I really think from the beginning of this season, I've seen it in like Luna Hendricks' eyes that like she really wants to be a world champion.
She does.
And I see that so clearly. She had a rough skate at the Grand Prix final and then followed that up with another rough skate at the European Championships. But there's been a lot of time, and in a way, like, I can relate, and I feel like you can too. I think a lot of skaters can relate that sometimes after those bad skates, they help you kind of just refocus and take some pressure off of yourself. So it'll be interesting to see like how she does at this competition. We know she can do well at a world championship. She did last year, but the podium's wide open. Ashley, who else are you looking forward to watching?
I mean, you have to mention Isabel Levito, of course. She's coming into this, and she had a fantastic Grand Prix season, moving on to the Grand Prix final, where she was second. Nationals was also an incredible event for her, but then at 4 continents, she actually withdrew mid-event in the free skate. So cited that she just wasn't really feeling her best and, you know, moving on into this World Championships. I'm really curious to see mentally how she handles the pressure of being the top US lady at a world event. That's definitely, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. But I think that, you know, this competition as a whole and this particular discipline, it's really interesting, especially because we don't have the Russian women here. I think we're seeing a lot of skaters, like Luna is a great example, who maybe in years past were never considered one of those top athletes. And then as you have this entire field open up with the absence of the Russian team, you have these athletes who are now vying for those really hard to achieve top spots. And the mental component of that, it's just a completely different shift in how you see yourself in competition and under pressure. So I think that's one of the main reasons why the women's discipline in particular, we're seeing a lot of hot and cold performances and just a lot of movement in the field, because people are still adjusting to that added pressure of really actually being able to see themselves on the podium at these events.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge adjustment, and it's a totally different mindset when you're going into a competition and your goal is like, I want to do my best, and that's all I'm focused on.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. Like, you know, anything can happen, but there's no pressure.
Yeah.
But when you go into an event and there's like a medal on the line, there's a title, there's something that like when you started skating, you went, this is something I want to achieve. Stakes are totally different.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think they're just finding their footing right now.
Yep.
But I think that when we watch this World Championships, they're going to be there, they're going to be present, and they're going to be really hungry to find that success.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event all around. So much incredible skating coming our way in Saitama. So, Adam, how are you going to be watching this event? It's Japan. I'm on the East Coast. You're on the West Coast. So for the West Coast, what is that, like a 16-hour difference?
You could say.
Some have said.
Roughly, yes. Yeah, how am I going to be watching? Illegally with a VPN. That's how I'm going to be doing it. And my VPN is going to be working overtime, and I'm going to get all $12 worth out of it. So I'm going to be watching every single event that I can. I'm going to be working overtime. But Ashley, do you know who else is working overtime?
Please tell me.
Our producer, Emmy award-winning Sarah Hughes, not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes, but we'd like to we were gonna, like, this was gonna be the first time she was gonna be on the podcast, but of course we didn't have our facts straight.
No.
So
you've
now
heard her
this
voice,
is her second
but
time. Yes.
Welcome back to the pod.
Yeah, Sarah, how are we doing?
We, me being you.
Yeah.
The collective us.
Oh, well, yeah, you guys are doing great. I'm doing great. I feel like a Russian skater ready to watch the World Championships from afar.
It's incredible. That's how I also feel that way. But now that Sarah's here, Ashley, I think we go right into Fiercer
I
Flutz.
think we should get right into Fiercer Flutz. And as always, remember, Flutz isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No. Can you give me an example of what's a fierce off the top of your head?
Well, the example that I immediately think of harkens back to last week when you called me and said, did you know that Yuzuru Hanyu is doing a one-man show in Japan? Just him. And he's skating full programs. To me?
Yeah.
Fierce.
That's so fierce. That is honestly, yeah, it's amazing. First of all, wait, it's amazing to be a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm going, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, everybody does that.
Great.
I'm like, we did that. We did not do that.
We did not do that.
But I'm like, that's impressive. I'm saying it. You can hear like a faint, like, okay, whatever. But this one-man show, this sold-out show, I've never been more impressed with anything in my entire life. I think this is the coolest, fiercest thing in the world.
Yeah. And then example.
And flutz. What's a flutz?
What is a flutz? So I'm going to describe this moment to you. And when you hear it, you're going to be like, actually, this sounds kind of fierce. And that is what makes flutz so complicated. So.
Okay.
2012 Grand Prix final.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Sochi. And I'm skating my program. Actually, it was 2003. It doesn't matter. I was in Sochi at the Grand Prix final. I'm skating my free skate, and it's one of my last jumps, and I love to do double axel combos. What's genuinely flutz is that double axel combos are now actually worth full credit, whereas when I was doing them, they were not. That's real flutz, but that's not the point of this story.
Yes.
I do triple loop, and then I step into a double axel, and I waxeled. And in the process of me waxeling, I slammed, like WWE body slammed my uterus so hard that I took a specifically, scientifically.
You went from air to uterus.
I had a moment.
The name of your book.
From air to uterus, yes. I had a moment of clarity on the ice where I said, I'm done. And then I realized that, as the audience finished their collective, that my music was still going and I had to get up. And so in that moment, that is what some would call a flutz, because I waxeled in a competitive program and went home on crutches. And I'm completely serious. I went home on crutches. And because Sochi, this was the test event for the Olympics. And so Sochi prior to the Olympics was a very small town. There was not a lot there. And so did they have actual crutches for me? No. They brought me one. These were not they were not matching crutches. One was wooden. And for someone my height, I'm 5'2", and one was for a Serbian basketball player. And was like clearly for someone who was like 6 feet tall. And so when I got home, not only did I got diagnosed with a hip pointer and all this other fun stuff, my back was messed up because I'd been crutching around on like misangled crutches. So that's a great example of flutz.
So in short, that's a flutz.
In short. Okay, Sarah, are you ready?
Barely. But,
Okay.
Well, us too. All right, we're ready.
Okay. I thought about a couple worlds-related topics to discuss. My first being Amber Glenn's World Championships debut.
Wow. Oh, yeah, this is.
Of course I didn't know this. I thought that she'd been, but now that you're saying it, I'm realizing that she hasn't.
No, she got second at Nationals 2 years ago, and they passed her over.
Flutz. That's a flutz.
But I'm saying it's that's a flutz. But Karen Chen did go, and she got fourth, which is
fierce.
That is so fierce.
Karen,
to get fourth at the World Championships every time you go.
That is a Karen Chen staple. Going to the World Championships, having the skate of your life.
Yeah, no, the people who get fourth at Worlds pay royalties to Karen Chen. She has it trademarked.
I'm still paying royalties to her. I'm sure I've been fourth at Worlds at some point. That's all I did.
Yeah, and you had to pay Karen when you did that. You gave all of your prize money to her.
All my prize money went to Karen Chen.
Amber's first Worlds, fierce.
Amber's first Worlds, fierce. The fact that it's taken this long for her to get to Worlds or be selected to go to Worlds, flutz.
Great. Okay, I never thought I would be saying that Ateri Tutberidze has 3 skaters at this event at all, but she has 3 skaters in the men's event.
Why?
How are we feeling about that?
I'm feeling bad.
Oh my god, figure skating's supervillain.
That's a flutz. So
That's a flutz. It's a flutz. I'm sorry. Why are we still going to a coach that historically does not treat her skaters?
Should be history.
Should be
historically should be history.
Historically should be history. Yeah. Flutz. I don't
Flutz.
understand why people are still going to that camp. It just seems so wildly unethical. Hot take.
Great.
Okay, I found at least an example of one skater for each of you who is using music that you once used. So I want you to say fierce or flutz to watching skaters use music that you skated to.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say for the skater, fierce. For me, the viewer, flutz, because I get anxious when I hear my old music. I get like very nervous. I get like all that flood of memories.
Wait, that's so funny because I'm going to tell you that I do something and it's really creepy, but it comes from a sweet place, I promise.
Go on.
I have your old programs like saved in a playlist, and they calm me because they just remind me of like training. And so like I'll play your old programs like whenever I'm stressed because it's just like familiar music because I heard it 10 million times a day because I worked somewhat hard. Adam was neurotic in the way that he trained, and so it just became like this almost background noise for me because I heard it so often. So I listen to your music a lot. So I would say Fierce for the skater and Fierce for me.
Oh, I'm so glad that my neurosis can calm you.
What about your own programs?
She doesn't remember her own programs.
She's like, what programs?
But it's not hard for me to remember my old programs. I only skated to one.
Wait, I'll say that I also do the same. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch some old Ashley programs because it does. I don't know. It makes me feel like reminds me of a good time.
I know we're being screamed at by Raphael in the background. We're like, oh, memories.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. No, I think that I do think the skating world, if we've been given the privilege of having lyrics, we should, as a community, work to expand our musical selections. That being said, I feel like I skated to nothing but bop after bop, and so it just means that they might have taste.
Yeah, I'm so fierce. It's a pretty fierce topic.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much. What an incredible array of questions at the last second.
Okay, so that is it for the first episode of the run through. This is the first full run through for us in a long time. Adam, how are you feeling? Winded?
I'm winded. My resting BPM right now is 180. I'm feeling like I got some really good cardio in. This feels really reminiscent of a true run through. But Ashley, I've actually been saving something that I wanted to tell you. I meant to text this to you, but I forgot to tell you. So yesterday I saw, this has nothing to do with the podcast. This is just like me telling you something.
Okay.
But yesterday I ran into John Nix, your old coach.
Oh my God.
Okay,
How
and
is
I
he?
need you to know. Okay, first of all, he's great. He's 94 years old, and he's like never been more
So
with it in his whole life.
Tan.
Okay, this is what he said to me exactly. I said, I said hi to him, and he was like, hi. And he goes, okay, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, you're being put to work.
And I said, yes, I have a pen and paper out.
Right.
I'm going, tell me what it is.
What
How
do you
many
need,
things do you
sir?
need me to do? And he goes, I need you to call your friend Ashley. And he goes, I need you to tell her she needs to come to my 95th birthday next year because she did not go to my last one. I don't know what was going on, is what he said exactly.
Oh my God. First of all, I love that he's 94 and that shady. Second of all,
Yes.
I actually had words with the person that organized his birthday because I was like, where was my invite? I would have moved heaven and earth to be there. And she texted my old number. And because I'm so bad at texting, she just assumed that I just
That
didn't
you went,
text
I'm
her
not
back.
coming.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
Oh my God, that is so cute. For anyone who needs a visual reference of what this man looks like, he kind of looks like the old man from Up and Yoda, like made a
What an incredible analysis and visual I'm getting
yeah,
right now.
and then
I'm going green.
Yeah, you stick that being on a houseboat in Mexico, and this is like not even a joke. He has a houseboat and like goes to Mexico all the time. So he's tan, and he has a British accent, and he's probably 5'3"
Feet on the dot. Yeah.
when wearing
5'3".
Ugg boots. Like wherever he is in the
Yes.
world right now, he's wearing Ugg boots.
Famously, the highest platform boot you can get, Ugg.
Wait, before we set you all loose into the world, I have a Mr. Nix story. So I moved out to train with Mr. Nix in 2012, and he was the coach that I was working with for my first national title. And so I get out to this rink, and it's literally my first day training with him. And Mr. Nix, because he is older, he doesn't wear skates anymore. And most people would think, oh, okay, so he just like stands on the side of the boards. No. He's on the ice, and he shuffles around in his zero traction Ugg boots. And he just dodges pair teams left and right. He's very agile. But I'm warming up and I'm skating laps, and then I hear the entire arena gasp. And I turn around and I look, and Mr. Nix is starfished on the ice.
Oh, no.
And Chelsea Liu, who is a U.S. pair skater, at the time she had to have been maybe 12 years old and was just an itty bitty baby, took him out like by the knees. And I'm like, oh my God, it's
the easiest way to take out an old man,
of course,
by the way.
by the knees.
By the knee. Yeah.
So I've just like uprooted my life, moved to the other side of the country, and my first thought was like, oh my God, he's dead. He's dead. That's it. It's done.
Well, no, he's alive and kicking, and still mad you didn't go to his 94th birthday party.
I'll have to find a way to get in touch with him. Maybe Facebook. I don't know. How do you communicate with 94-year-olds?
He said tell her to text me. And so this is me telling you that you need to text Mr. Nix.
I love this chain of events. All right. Well, to you, the pod, and Mr. Nix, promise I will make that happen. He is an angel of a human being, and I am so grateful for him in my career. All right. So make sure to tune in next week. We are going to have our post-Worlds recap. We're going to talk about everything that we basically just lined up for you in this episode. You can find me on Instagram at ashwagner2010. Let us know your favorite moments from Worlds this week so you can hear us chat about it in our post-Worlds review. Adam, how can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm there all day, every day. I'm at a rip. And like Ashley said, slide into our DMs. Let us know your favorite moments from Worlds so that we can talk about them here on the podcast. And we're really excited to really just get this first episode really completed.
Fully rotated on one foot.
So I'm really excited for what's to come. I'm really excited to watch Worlds this week, and so make sure that you come back next week so we can all chit and chat about what we saw in Saitama.
And until then, like our coach Rafael Artunian always told us before every competition,
Come on,
buddy.
Okay.
That's a wrap.
Bye.